very much. First of all, maybe just to comment on what the architect has said, especially maybe in terms of adoption of certain good practices by farmers. Naturally, we have the adoption process, whereby not everybody can just adopt any practice as it is rolled out. Certainly, there are some that can grasp it really readily. Some will have to wait and see. Those who have grabbed it, have they succeed? Some can even be laggards. Some can even decide not to really go the way of the change. So this is the kind of thing that is happening in terms of this. So, and sometimes it is not always also about the access to the information, but also the access to the technologies. The technology may, in some cases, not be present in the places where they are, and in some cases, the technologies may be available, but they do not have the financial wherewithal to acquire them. These are certain things. Then maybe coming back to the practices, FAO is actually encouraging good practices, especially good harvesting practices. Because, the thing is, if you do not have the knowledge of good harvesting, you are at the risk of, falling into this kind of trap. Because, the consumer in the market will want to see a very reddish tomato appealing to his distance so that he can buy. But then, harvesting tomato will have to be, let it mature, but not red all over. So that maybe, the physiological processes always continue, even when it is harvested. So meaning that before it now gets to the market, the ripening process will continue.
Would you say it's lack of knowledge on the part of the farmers, or it's a deliberate practice, probably maybe to, I don't know, for more profit or whatever it is?
That is what I'm saying. That there are some that do not have the knowledge, but there are some, they have the knowledge, but the fact that that now the consumer in the market is ready to see a very reddish tomato for him to buy. So now, if maybe I now tell you, okay, the best way now to harvest your tomato is when it is mature but still green, take it to the market. By the time you now bring that green tomato and beside also another red one, tendencies are that the consumer in the market will prefer the red one. So this one now brings them into this kind of sharp practices, that even though they know that this is how this thing can be done, but then the fact that they're out actually to get the money. So if you now take it to the market and nobody is willing to buy it as it is, so there is also now the need now for even the consumer to be informed. So I would say now maybe food regulations have to be enforced. I know that there are several regulations in terms of what goes to the market and what a consumer should buy. They are all there. But maybe the enforcement is not. The enforcement usually is for finished products, for manufactured products. But for things that are coming out of the market, out of the farm to the market, you see that eyes are not really on that one. And that is the reason why now the perpetrators of these sharp practices are really persisting. So maybe the government, NAFDAC and all that, they will also have to put eyes on these kind of things. The extension, FAO and all that, they are doing their best to really inform the farmers on good practices, harvesting practices, marketing of perishable commodities. But then, the reasons I have said earlier of maybe if the consumer is not informed of these kind of things, tendencies are that he will now be looking for something that's appealing, even though it is hazardous. So in that case, we have to make a balance so that now the farmer will now have to bring what the consumer wants, and if the consumer now wants the safe food, now that will now compel the farmer now to really adopt such good practices.
You mentioned